It's always a pleasure to present to you the topics that are very, very vital in these modern days and times when we have so many problems with the pandemic, with the job loss, and with many things happening in the world that we didn't plan for. This is a time when we need to get support from each other. Someone who has information, it's a time to share it with others. There's no point in hiding information that can be useful to someone else. That's the main reason I'm creating this content and presenting to you on one of the biggest media platforms. Recent times I've had people asking me about what is the cost of getting a UAE or Dubai driver's license. That's a topic that I've had many people asking me about. Now the prices vary depending on many things. However, with my experience, I got my driver's license 2015 about October. I'll give you the experience I had, and I've got some more information about the latest changes in the driving license. I had to do my research to make sure what I'm giving you is still up-to-date information. Many things didn't change, but a few things that changed, I've got already the information. I'm going to present that to you in this video. So if you've been thinking about getting your driver's license in Dubai or in the United Arab Emirates, maybe in any other emirate, Sharjah, Ajman, or Abu Dhabi, the information I'll give you is specifically about Dubai. However, there'll be very limited variations in other emirates. So basically, this information you get in this video is very vital and it's very good. It can help you make the right decisions. Many people spend a lot of money on driving license and sometimes fail and drop out of the course. It has happened to many. I spent about 4,500. I don't think it was more than 5,000 what I spent, and that is because I did less classes. I go to a cheaper school. The commuting, it wasn't very far from where I used to stay, and other points as I'll discuss with you in this topic. So this video today is about how the process of getting a UAE driving license at the lowest cost or at the best cost. So stay with me in this video, watch till the end for the tips, and if you have any more questions you can put them in the description box. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this for the first time, I believe you should subscribe so that you get to know whenever I have a new video with more important content about Dubai and United Arab Emirates in general. But first of all, even before I start, I want to assure you that knowing how to drive in United Arab Emirates and owning a driving license is a very, very vital skill and qualification for anyone. You don't have to be working as a driver. I don't even need to own a car to have a driving license. Once you have it, there are many opportunities you can get just by having a driving license. I'm not saying everyone who gets a driving license gets opportunities, but it's one of the qualifications you can have in United Arab Emirates and improve your chances of getting an opportunity. And further still, if nothing else is there, you can do driving. People are driving taxis, people are driving Uber. This is a job. People are getting money from that. People who are doing deliveries in Noon, in Amazon, on all these big delivery companies, courier companies, it's a driving license that can get you there. However, the step is lengthy if you don't know what to do, or if you go through a wrong procedure, and it can be expensive if you don't have the right information. In this video, I'll tell you about the fixed fees that you have to pay to RTA, and then the variable fees that you have to pay to the school. Now, the fixed fees cannot be changed. These are fixed fees for RTA. However, the variable fees can be altered or can be avoided. Depends on which school you choose, depends on where you go to, and depends on also how many classes you attend. Now, in the beginning, anyone who wants to get a driving license will start by registering in a driving school in Dubai or United Arab Emirates in general. So there are many schools that have been certified by the government or by the Roads and Transport Authority, that's RTA, and these are the only schools you can go to. If it's a small school with no proper documentation, do not bother. I'll give you a list in the description. Let me just put the list on the screen for the schools that are known in different emirates. In the beginning, anyone who wants to get a driving license in the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, anywhere, you will have to register with the school, attend classes, and then pass a test, RTA test. There are several other tests in the school-based, like you'll do a mock exam, but then you have to pass the final RTA test, and you'll have to pass the theory and the practical. Without passing those two, you will not be able to get your driver's license. There are citizens from selected countries who do not need to get through all these classes. their driving license can be converted to UAE driving license without attending the classes. Now, to get that list, you have to visit the RTA website, because that's the most updated list. If I give it to you, it may change after some time. However, I can tell you, if you're coming from Africa, you have to be coming from South Africa. Most of the other African countries cannot convert their driving license to a UAE driving license. You will have to go through the classes and get your driving license. Before you think about registering for the driving license, you have to be 18 and over. Anyone below 18 years will not be allowed to register for a driving license or for driving training. Let's talk about the documents required for registration into a driving school. Number one will be your passport, a copy of your passport with a visa page if you have a visa, a valid visa. Two will be your Emirates identification, that is the Emirates ID, copy of it. Three, you will need at least 8 passport photos. Be prepared with that. 4, you'll need to have your recent eye test report. That should be done from authorized clinics. Not everywhere you can do that from. Make sure you ask if they are authorized to give RTA eye test. And then 5 will be a no objection letter from your employer or your sponsor. There are some professions that don't need that, like lawyers, like I think doctors and professors don't need that. There are some professions. Just check on the website, on the RTA website, and see if your profession is exempted. Now that you know the documents required, let me take you through the process. Step number 1, go have your eye check. The eye check will help you get that document, which is also required. That is the report from the clinic that you have your eyes perfect. And in case they recommend that you need to have specs, you'll have to have them through your training and through after having your driver's license. You should not drive without the specs. That is very important. Next step, after getting your eye checked, go to the driving school and register. Now there are several schools, most of them in Dubai, but the list, I'll give you this list with all the schools that are available that have been approved. Now the choice is yours to find out which school is affordable. Affordability is not enough. Find out if they have branches near you, because if it's affordable but you're going to spend a lot of money on transport to go for the driving lessons, then you weigh and see if the cost of transport is not so high to offset the saving you had on the classes. And also the timings. Day classes are a bit expensive compared to night classes. I saved a lot of money by doing night classes because at the time the day classes were at 75 dirhams per class per hour, and I did night classes at 55 dirhams per class. That's one way of saving. 2, I didn't mention the home driving license because it may not be very important. However, it can help you cut on the cost. If your driver's license is more than 6 years, you'll do about 20 classes. That means you're saving on that. If it's between 3 and 6, but not more than 6 years experience, you'll do 30 classes to start with. Again, you can save a little cost of 10 classes. But if you don't have a driver's license, or if it's less than 3 years, then you'll have to do all 40 classes to start with. You may have to do more than that after you fail, but if you don't fail, you'll do only 40 classes if you have no driving experience. So that's something very important to know. 1, if you have your driving license, it will help you at the school to reduce the classes you're going to do. 2, find out which school is cheaper. You can try to get quotations from all schools. They have quotations on their websites. Just check on the list, go to their website and find out their costs and their charges. Find out the cost of the shifts, which shift is cheaper, which shift is more expensive, and then which shift can you manage. Find out the branches, how many branches they have that are close to you. It's better to have a school with a branch close to you so that you don't spend a lot of money commuting to the driving classes. The schools on the websites will also tell you about the fees that you have to pay. So that is for you to make up your mind. Once you do the registration, you'll get a learner's driving license. That is temporary, so you cannot use it for more than 3 months. If you get it, you'll have to use it within 3 months. Otherwise, you'll have to buy a new one after 3 months if you haven't learned how to drive and you haven't got your official driver's license. If it's still a learner's driving license, it will work for only 3 months. After you register with the school, you've got your learner's driver's license, start right away to learn. You start with the theory. Those will be 8 classes which you can do in one sitting. I did mine in one day, and after that I booked for the assessment. before you finish all these classes, you cannot book for any assessment. So you may choose to do them 1 hour a day, or do all of them at once, depending on the school. Some schools allow that, some don't. But each class is registered with RTA, so you cannot avoid doing the classes. You have to attend them in person because they are registered with RTA, every class you attend. Before that, you cannot book for the assessment. The theory test is to try to assess your understanding of driving, your awareness of the hazards, your awareness of the signs on the road and the environment, the driving environment. That includes other road users. You're not alone on the road. You are with pedestrians, you are with cyclists, you are with other people, other vehicles on the road. So your awareness about the safety and how you drive safely on the roads, how you interpret the signs is very important. That's why they're testing the theory. It is a multi-choice assessment. It's done online, where you have to just choose options. You're given 3 options. That means there's the right answer. You just have to know which one is the right answer. You have 3 options and you just have to choose the right answer. There will be 35 questions. Out of these 35 multi-choice questions, there are 2 categories. The first category has 18 questions, and these are core questions. Out of the 18 core questions, you need to pass at least 13. This is very important. 13 out of the 18. If you get 12 out of the 18, you are not passing. That's one thing. Then the other common questions are 17, and you must get 12 out of the 17. So anything beyond the required is a pass. If you even just get the minimum requirement, that is 13 out of 18 and 12 out of 17, you have passed. But it's always better to be ahead of it. The good thing is you have multiple choice. You have 3 options to choose from. So if you've done your classes well, and if you practice and done some mock assessments online, you'll be in position to get this right. I passed it one time. I had all my 8 classes in one day, and after that 2 days I booked in the assessment and I did it. It comes in different languages. In case English is hard for you, you have Arabic, you have Urdu. So these are the languages that are available. And if you can't understand any of the languages, you have an option of getting an interpreter. But this has to be arranged in advance with the school. So they get someone to interpret for you, but the person won't give you the answers. You need to know the answers. So they'll interpret for you, but you'll have to know the answers. In the beginning, you have a 10 minutes tutorial of how to go through the exam, and that has audio on it, so you can listen and understand the instructions. You'll have 30 minutes to answer all these 35 questions right. After that, you'll have the second one, and that is the final assessment. After passing this, the moment you finish this theory exam, you'll get your results and know if you have to do it again or you are passed and you have to go on to the practical classes. Details about how to pass this will be another video that I'll be uploading soon, which is how to pass a driving license first time. That's a video that's coming very soon after this. As you attend the practical classes, there will be several internal assessments that is within the schools, like parking test, like incline test if you're doing a manual driving license, like garage parking test. Those several tests will be done. Even the road test will be done internally before you go for the final RTA test. As you're doing the practical lessons and you're doing the assessments, internal assessments, every assessment that you fail, you will be required to do more classes. So that means more cost will come in. So avoid failing any assessment, internal or the final. Whenever you fail, the cost is increasing. So try to get it first time. Like I said, I'll have a video about how to pass this driving license first time. But what you should do, avoid failing any of these assessments. Practice and be attentive in the practical lessons. Now the last on the process is the final RTA test. To do this RTA test means you have passed the theory test that was online and you get the results immediately, and you're told if you have to redo the assessment, you're told on the same day because it's online, you get the results immediately. And then you have passed all the internal assessments from the driving school. Now you can schedule your RTA final test, and after the final test, then you can move on to get your driving license and start driving on Dubai roads. For the practical road test, there are some things that if you fail them, the assessment ends and you have failed. There are minor ones that can be left, but you don't have to collect so many. Most of it will come in my next video, which will be how to get a driving license first time. Because I got it first time, I want you to know that it's possible. You'll get so many people telling you that you can never get the Dubai driving license first time, but I can tell you I got it first time, and that's why I want to share with you what I did, how I managed to get my driver's license, my Dubai driving license first time. And that helped me save a lot of money because I spent less than 5,000 that time, and I know people who have spent more than that. I know people who have spent more than 20,000, and some have dropped out because it got so hard for them. Briefly, to talk about training, all training must be attended in person. You have to come with your Emirates ID or with your passport to confirm that it's you. You register, and then your instructor will also register you in the book, and you have to sign every lesson you attend. For theories, if you do it all at once, again you'll have to sign in, and it will be registered online in RTA database. No one will get a driving license without going to the database for RTA to confirm that they attended all the classes. The same with the practical, all the classes will be registered. Now the final RTA assessment is to see, it's a road test to see how you drive on the road. Are you respecting the signs? Are you respecting the lights? Are you respecting other road users? That's what they are checking. They are checking your confidence. Are you checking your environment around you, in front of you, on the sides and the back, all the time? It's about your awareness of the road situation, of the driving. How are you joining the lanes? How are you stopping? How are you getting out of the lane? How are you overtaking? This is what they'll test. And if you're confident and you make no mistake, I'll tell you about the mandatory fees that you'll have to pay to RTA. These are mandatory fees. Whatever school you'll go to, you'll pay them because these go to the government. Whatever Emirate will be standard. The others will be depending on the school itself. One, opening a file, RTA will need 100 dirhams for that. The learner's permit, for light vehicles, it is 100 dirhams. For heavy vehicles like buses and trucks, it is 200 dirhams. Knowledge book, that's a book that has all the theory about the road signs, about the road practices and everything. That will cost you 50 dirhams to the government. So the knowledge book is your manual. It will show you everything about the road signs, about the rules and regulations of driving in Dubai. It will show you a lot of information about driving and the rules. You'll need it for the theory test also. You have the knowledge dirham, that is 10 dirhams. You have the innovation dirham, that is 10 dirhams. These are fees. These are other fees like knowledge fees and innovation fees. Those are 10 dirhams. Many schools will charge you for that internal test. There's internal test that has to be done before you go for the final test. Internal test fee will cost you 220 dirhams. The theory test or the knowledge test will cost you 220 dirhams. Final road test will cost you 220 dirhams. The license for more than 2 years, I think it's now 2 years. The time we got our license, 2015, it was valid for 10 years. But currently that changed. Mine is from 2015 to 2025. It was 10 years driving license, but that changed. Now to get more than 1 year, you'll have to pay 320. Then on renewal, they can renew it for 10 years. But the first time you get for only 2 years, then you go for assessment. If it's less than 1 year, then you'll pay only 120 dirham. For the school fees, I cannot give you the fees because every school charges differently. What I can do, I can give you a list of the schools that are valid for driving lessons. Then you can get quotations from each of the school. You can give them a call to understand more details about what you have to pay, and then you can make your choice of which school you want to use for your driving license. That's all I have for you today about the process of getting a UAE or Dubai driving license. I've described for you the process, the documents required, the exams that you'll be doing, and briefly that's what you have to know. For more details on how you can pass this assessment first time, how you can get your driving license first time, there's a video that will come very soon. That's the reason I suggest you subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and click on the notification bell so that whenever this video comes out, you'll be the first to know. You'll be one of the first people to know, and you can check it out. This will prepare you to make sure you save a lot of money. I got my driving license in 2015. I spent less than 5,000. I think it's about 4,600 or 4,500, including everything, the training, the assessments and everything, because I got it first time. And I did 20 classes. That time I had many people saying it cannot be done, you cannot get it first time, because they had failed. But when I got it, they realized that you can do it. So you too can do it, but you'll have to watch my video to get the tips. It will be coming very soon. By next week it will be out. Thank you. Keep watching, keep subscribing, keep sharing my videos. See ya.